Hey, welcome to EPN. We bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. My name is Victor Lucas. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are ready for an incredible episode of EP Live, but also an awesome weekend. We've got a great show for you planned today. We've got lots of reviews to give you, and we're going to be talking about Luke Cage in a little bit, which I'm very excited about. But first, let's get started with your rundown, and this one is going out to Bleak5170, who asked on my Jurassic World review, so was the volcano scene any good? We're going to find out a little bit later on today, but let's get started with Bleak5170's rundown. You'll be able to return to the world of Life is Strange sooner than you might think. Don't Nod Entertainment has announced that their long-awaited sequel, Life is Strange 2, will finally arrive September 27th, with the first episode available simultaneously on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. They haven't said how long of a wait there will be between future episodes of the game, but more details will be announced soon. This is the first full Life is Strange game made by Don't Nod since the original game came out in 2015, with last year's prequel, Before the Storm, being handled by a different developer. If you can't wait until September, Don't Nod has a short spin-off called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, set in the same universe. That's out next week. I'm very excited about this. The fact that Life is Strange 2 is coming. I've already got a download code for The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, and I can't wait to dig into that. I checked it out a little bit at E3, and it looks great. It makes me want to go through the whole thing and do all of these stories. I'm trying to find the time to be able to do that, and it would be great if these games were on the Switch. Just saying. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. This company is fantastic, and they're working on lots of exciting things. Now, Disney and Lucasfilm have issued a non-denial about future Star Wars movies being on hold. Earlier this week, rumors surfaced that the studios were pausing development of Star Wars spin-offs following the box office failure of Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, speaking with fellow Disney subsidiary ABC, Lucasfilm says that multiple Star Wars films are still in active development. However, the interesting thing is that they haven't said when those new Star Wars movies will arrive. The original report said that the new films were merely on hold and not canceled, so the rumors of a slowdown could still be true, depending on when Lucasfilm is planning to have the new movies released. We'll have to wait and see. For now, the only Star Wars movie with an official release date is Episode 9, due out in December 2019. Listen, I don't think they're going to be doing any other, hype around Star Wars except for Episode 9. They have to get everything on track with this movie. J.J. Abrams has unbelievable pressure on him to make us, really, really love this movie and care about Star Wars and care about these characters again. They've got to think about every single piece of marketing that they're going to put together around this stuff. Say what you will about The Last Jedi. I liked the movie. I felt like it was, lots of missteps with the lore. And every time we talk about The Last Jedi, whether it's through our reviews or our, discussions with even actors like Sam Witwer or whatever, the comments are invariably about how Rian Johnson let some people down in some major ways. And that is a real feeling. That is out there in the world. And the box office for Solo, I think, suffered because of that. I don't know if, it's the only reason. I think it came out in too soon, and it wasn't a perfect movie. And there was lots of confusion around the movie, and Disney didn't get the marketing push that they wanted. All kinds of reasons, but I think one of the reasons is that people are not feeling it as much as they were for Star Wars before Episode 7 and even after Episode 7, and Rogue One. And so Disney has got to be very, very cautious here. I would be surprised if we're going to hear about that Boba Fett movie again from James Mangold, if we're going to hear about the Obi-Wan movie, until Episode 9 knocks it out of the park. And I think all sort of factors on the future of Star Wars rest on that movie being successful. Not that it won't come back, and not that it's not going to be a big part of Disney's future. I know the TV show is coming, and that could create all kinds of great new content from Jon Favreau, and also the new animated series from Dave Filoni. I'm excited about both of those, and I'm excited about the Disney streaming service. And I think the Star Wars land at Disneyland and Disney World is going to be incredible. All of those things will, furnish excitement and enthusiasm for more, but so much rests on us loving Episode 9. And I don't know if Star Wars has ever had this amount of pressure before. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, the immortal slasher villain Jason Voorhees isn't strong enough to overcome a litigious copyright issue. Friday the 13th game maker Gun Media has confirmed rumors that they won't be able to make any new DLC for the game. They had planned to continue releasing new characters, skins, maps, and other in-game content, but they've been forced to put those plans on hold due to a complicated legal battle surrounding the rights to the franchise. The screenwriter behind the original Friday the 13th film, Victor Miller, is suing the current rights holders, saying that a provision in copyright law means that the rights to Jason and the other characters should revert back to him, which would invalidate the existing deal struck by the game makers. This means no new DLC can be made until the legal dispute is settled. Gun Media says they'll continue to support the existing game with patches, new servers, and other technical tweaks. It is amazing how complicated it is to work with these licensed properties and how many things, can get in the way, and how many parties and people, have legitimate rights or claim to have rights on all of these things, and it can muddy the waters in lots and lots of ways. And that's a big part of the reason why we don't see, a lot of the, remasters and remakes and sequels even to properties that we love, because there are so many stakeholders involved in the creation of the original. And I point to, this is a little of a bit of a diversion from this kind of conversation, but the SSX games were so loaded with licensed music, and sometimes there's licensed boards and things like that, that it's so tricky, no pun intended, to bring something like that back into the world, and even something like this, which has been so long in gestation, and there's been so many people involved along the way, and so many different licensing rights carved up along the way too, with action figures and posters and all kinds of stuff. I was really surprised that a small developer sort of came out of the blue and put together a pretty cool game here with Friday the 13th, and I was happy for everybody, but it doesn't really surprise me that the rights are a little more complicated than many people probably originally thought. Hopefully this will all get figured out, and Victor Miller and any of the other parties that are involved will see the value in this game, and the sort of the brand value it's bringing back to Friday the 13th is positive, and I'm sure some money will exchange hands and more will come. We'll see. But speaking of legal problems, Fallout maker Bethesda is dropping a legal bomb. Bethesda has filed a lawsuit against developer Behavior Interactive and rival publisher Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, alleging that their new Westworld mobile game is a ripoff of Bethesda's own Fallout Shelter. Bethesda claims that, along with blatantly copying the design, Behavior Interactive actually reused some of the same assets and code from Fallout Shelter, which they co-developed with Bethesda Game Studios. Bethesda is suing them for copyright infringement and breach of contract. The two defendants have yet to respond. Oh man, this is going to get messy. Behavior actually used to be A2M, and they worked with Bethesda on a game called Wet, so they have a long relationship with this publisher. And, if they've reused assets and haven't cleared that, that's wrong. You got to do that. And if Bethesda's got merit to all of this stuff, then Behavior's in a kind of a sticky position here. And, certainly ideas get used all the time and borrowed all the time as video games kind of evolve and people learn some, new vernacular and new ways to engage players in lots of different ways. And Fallout Shelter is such a big hit, of course it's going to influence other titles. But if it is a direct lift, and I haven't played the Westworld game yet, and we may not be able to for very much longer, so if you want to play that thing, you should probably download that right now. If it is a blatant ripoff, then yeah, Bethesda should go after them for sure, It's big business, though. These are billions of dollars, and Fallout Shelter, I think they made the statement at the Bethesda press conference at E3, has been played by more people than all of the other Fallout games combined, and downloaded like crazy, and it's got a huge audience, and of course it was just released for the Switch. So I don't blame Bethesda at all for going after this. It's just, it sucks for everybody involved, and hopefully things can get worked out. And it sounds like there might be some pretty big patches coming to the Westworld game. All right, that's going to do it for the rundown. But right now, let's move on to this day in everything cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for June 22nd. This day in 1996 was such a big day in gaming, we had a Quake. The original Quake was released on computers in North America with a global launch following later that year. Developed by Doom and Wolfenstein creator id Software, Quake was a big leap forward from those games in several important ways. For starters, it was the first fully 3D shooter with all the characters made with 3D polygons and not 2D sprites like in id's previous games. This made it much more realistic and immersive immersive. Quake was also one of the first shooters to feature different movement abilities like jumping and strafing, with most shooters up to that point featuring just simple walking and running. Finally, Quake was one of the first big shooters to have online multiplayer. Users could join together in online servers and then fight each other to the death in multiplayer matches or work together in a co-op version of the main story campaign. This was revolutionary at the time and established multiplayer as a crucial component of the first-person shooter genre. The multiplayer proved invaluable in another way. Quake was a success, but not a huge hit when it was first released, but thanks to the lasting popularity of its multiplayer, it continued to sell well for months and years to come, with players buying copies in order to join their friends. id Software followed it up with several sequels, and Bethesda became the owner of the franchise when they bought id in 2009. All right, my friends, Season 2 of Marvel's Luke Cage has hit Netflix today, and I am a sucker for these Marvel shows on Netflix. I want to talk a little bit about where I am in the season so far. I'm only up to episode 3, so I can only review these first 3 episodes, and man, do they pack a punch. Luke Cage, as portrayed wonderfully by Mike Colter. I just love this actor. He just looks, he carries a great physical kind of strength, but also this emotional kind of connectedness, and he's kind of holding back, and he's kind of a chill guy until he's not, until he's shot by a gun that can hurt him, and he kind of recognizes that he's got even more power than he first realized, and then he sort of comes into his own. What's happened, of course, is that Luke Cage has become a hero for hire. He's kind of a little bit more famous in the streets of Harlem, and so people recognize him, and all the ladies swoon when he walks by them. They have lots of great slow-mo shots of people kind of reacting and just paying attention to this guy. He's so charismatic, but he's also got an incredible relationship with Claire, as portrayed by Rosario Dawson. I just believe in their love for each other. They're great actors, great performers. They have good scenes together, and they just have this tremendous chemistry, which was starting to percolate and heat up a little bit in the first season, but now we've had some time to mature with these roles. I've loved Rosario Dawson across all of the Marvel Netflix stuff. I just think she's such a great, bit of connective tissue throughout these shows. And I really enjoyed season 1 of Luke Cage. I liked its, kind of different authenticity. Like, we don't normally see African-American superheroes. We don't normally get to see the sort of Harlem culture represented on screen in this kind of fashion, and things are starting to change a little bit now with Black Panther, and then DC's got their pretty cool Black Lightning show, which I'm still working through on Netflix. But Luke Cage is somewhat different even then. I mean, we're in the streets of New York, and the city plays a big central part of how you kind of connect with these characters and their stories. And you can tell that everything is shot on location, and it just feels vital and vibrant. And it looks like they eat in real restaurants that you could actually physically go to yourself. And it would be surreal to be in New York as they're filming this show, because it just feels like it's all happening in real life, which is great. Now, Luke Cage is going to be facing the Bushmaster. Don't snicker. That's an actual character name from the comics, and he's played by Mustafa Shakir, I think is the actor's name. Terrific. There's lots of Caribbean, Jamaican accents in this first 3 episodes that I've seen. There's this great connection to music as well. Lots of jazz and lots of hip hop and rhythm and blues. Gary Clark Jr. has this great sequence in episode 2 where we're cutting back to him, and he's just he's playing the whole song, and you see the actors and the performers like Alfred Woodward, who is the big bad Mariah in the show. At least so far, we saw some big changes with big bads in the previous season. She's visibly moved by the music as it's being played in her club. Or she's listening to Nina Simone in one of her sequences as well. I just love this music taking front and center, and I also like these long, slow pans across the people of Harlem and the city streets, and just shots of Luke Cage with his earbuds in, just listening to music and kind of reacting, even as he's getting shot and the bullets are bouncing off of him and his bulletproof skin. incredible. Shades is back as well. That's Theo Rossi, who was one of my favorite characters on Sons of Anarchy, and he's such a badass in this show. I like to see him. Cockroach has survived as well from season 1. Basically, what we're doing here is we're in these first 3 episodes is we're setting up this new cast of characters. People are trying to either align themselves with Alfred Woodward or betray her, as she's got this new scheme to collect a bunch of dough and kind of legitimize her future earnings and find a way to kind of invest in something that is a little less shady and nefarious from the drugs and gun running that she's been doing. Meanwhile, Luke Cage is just still trying to clean up the streets. We see Misty Knight, who had lost her arm. I think it was in the Defenders show, but I'm trying to kind of erase that terrible miniseries out of my mind. I also didn't really dig the Iron Fist show. But this show and Jessica Jones and The Punisher and Daredevil, they're all so cool. I just love, the authenticity again. I mean, it just feels like they're really policing and really patrolling the streets of New York. But Luke Cage is something different, from its music sensibility to its style, to its, just this cool melange, this great humanity that's presented on screen. I'm totally addicted. I'm 3 episodes in, but I love what I have seen so far. And Bushmaster looks like he's going to be a formidable opponent to Luke Cage, who does... some very powerful weapons do bounce off of him, some powerful bullets, but then he does get hurt. And the way that Mike Coulter kind of Luke Cage reacts to getting hurt is pretty amazing to watch. And so far in the show, we haven't seen Misty Knight get any kind of augmentations with that missing arm, but I do know that's coming, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely sticking with this one through the weekend, so I'll probably have a full report for you next week on my adventures with season 2 of Luke Cage. But what I've seen so far, I love it. First 3 episodes get a 9 out of 10. But that's not the only thing that's coming out today or is available today. There's a brand new game for the Nintendo Switch, and I've got your review on the run right here. I can remember being so blown away by the Nintendo 64 versions of Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, and we've had various versions of these franchises over the years for portable systems, for console systems, and here we are with Mario Tennis Aces for the Nintendo Switch, which Nintendo was wisely able to share with us through an online tournament, kind of like a beta test where they let everybody in and play the game for a little bit. They could actually unlock stuff before they bought the finished game, which was very cool, and it was a terrific introduction to this game, and the nail-biting sense of pace that this title has. This is a terrific tennis experience. It's definitely an arcade sport. It takes massive liberties and crazy cartoony diversions with the way that you're going to enjoy the sport of tennis. But at the core are the fundamentals, the basics, the sort of twitchy, tactile experiences that you expect from a great tennis game. And then it's augmented with piranha plants and giant bosses, and you'll hit the ball into some kind of an object or a creature that will spit it right back at you. And there's all kinds of great shots that you can pull off, star shots and hyper fast shots. Every one of the characters has extra special moves that they can pull off, bouncing up into the air and bashing a ball down super, super fast, which you can still block, by the way, as you become more and more adept at this game. You're learning some new mechanics here. This isn't like the Game Boy Mario Tennis where you just hit it over there and then they run over there and then you hit it over there. Yay, I win again. You can do that a little bit. They give you a little bit of that, but in this one, characters can double jump across the screen and get those long extensions and then double jump back. You've got an adventure mode in there where you're going to sort of travel along a game board, and you'll have these various challenge points where you'll learn some basic shots, and then you'll be faced with some tough opponents that you'll have to defeat before you can move on, and then you'll be faced with some weird environmental issues which you'll have to defeat before you can move on. My one gripe about the adventure mode is that it takes too long to just restart. When you're screwing up, when you've had too many balls hit you and it's a body shot and you see your little life meter sort of dipping down and you just want to start the thing over again, it just takes too many presses. All kinds of awesome characters, Bowser Jr. and Donkey Kong and Chain Chomp and Spike, who actually spits the ball out of his mouth before he smacks it. And there's also a great kind of gradual learning curve and some terrific sort of challenge points along the way to kind of keep you on your toes, and honestly, just a tremendous amount of single-player enjoyment, but that's not the core. That's not why you're going to be playing this game for the next several years. I think that Nintendo will probably do what they've been doing with things like Splatoon and ARMS. They'll probably dole out some extra goodies along the way, which is terrific. But you know what? All that single-player stuff is moot if there isn't a fantastic multiplayer offering in here, and of course there is. Yes, I did notice some lag when I played online in the tournament, and I'm reviewing this before. There's, a multitude of people online to kind of test that against, but I feel like that was just a month ago. That was probably a pretty good stress test on how online is going to handle, and I did have a couple of matches where it was a disappointment to have that lag, but you know what? When you've got a cartoony tennis experience like this, you kind of have to forgive it a little bit. This isn't like esports. You can play cooperatively against AI opponents. You can play doubles with 3 people on the same screen. You can play the swing mode, which is a little bit like Wii Sports, standing in front of the screen and kind of pretending to hit the tennis ball or like that, like you've got a racket in your hand. This is terrific. It's another fantastic Switch game. It was also available on display at E3. I already had it on my Switch because I've been reviewing it, but I think it's one of the strongest sports experiences coming out of E3. It's just super fun, and it's right along that core of ARMS and Splatoon and Mario Kart. If you like those kinds of experiences, even if you hate tennis, I think you're going to dig this. And if you love tennis, you're going to get that core tennis and then all kinds of crazy tennis, and you're going to dig that. Great game. Nintendo, you keep putting a big smile on my face with your exclusives. I'm going to give Mario Tennis Aces a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I love that freaking game, and I had a lot more time to play online. We put a tiny little disclaimer in there. Blake put it in Mario letters. Very cute, Blake. I like that. But yes, I played it online, and yes, there is still some lag, but holy crap, is that game intense when you get online, because you may win a few points, and then you recognize that, oh my God, these people are very good at, well, at least I did. People were just trouncing me. You got to master the slow-mo. You got to master the, when to use those effective kind of reach and jump moves. And it is a blast. And even when you get, destroyed, you still want to come back for more because you recognize there's just so much ability in the game. There's so many things you can pull off. Tons of fun. And people are getting into it on the chat right now. Paul Cross does not agree with my score of a 9 out of 10, says it's a 6.5 or a 7. I think it's one of the best tennis sort of arcadey tennis, cartoony tennis experiences that has been made so far, and it's an exquisite Switch experience because it's great on the TV, and you can take it anywhere with you. I've got Tyler Fisher in there and says that he disagrees with wholeheartedly with my appraisal of Affleck's Batman. I didn't mind Affleck's Batman. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think he was that interesting as Bruce Wayne, and I also felt like he wasn't a very smart Bruce Wayne / Batman. He was a great physical Batman, but he was getting outwitted by Lex Luthor and Wonder Woman, trying to, who gave him all the information on all the rest of the Justice League. And then he was walking all over the world, meeting people and taking off his mask and revealing a secret identity to people. Just didn't feel as, enigmatic and intelligent and conniving as the Batman should be, And that's why I am okay with the fact that they're replacing Batman. You got me on the Batman talk, Tyler. You did this, buddy. That's why I think it's pretty cool that they're replacing Batman. And what I hope from Matt Reeves, who I appreciate so much, his Planet of the Apes work is incredible. But if he does this right, he'll cast a younger actor, and he will make this Bruce Wayne Batman combination the most interesting character in these future movies, because he should be. Batman is incredible, and he's done so well in the comics, partly because we get a lot of time to kind of read his thought process, and we don't get that enough in the movies, not even the Christopher Nolan movies. The villains always made those movies much stronger and sharper. And I feel like we need to understand this character and his motivations and the way that he deciphers and the way that he works as a detective, and also his billionaire version, the billionaire kind of bimbo version, or himbo, or whatever you want to call him. That should be interesting to watch too, that transformation. He shouldn't be the same. He shouldn't have that same kind of growl and that bad disposition. He should be bubbly, and he should be oblivious as Bruce Wayne. And then he should be ruthless and cunning and an incredible detective and an amazing athlete as Batman. And so we'll see. I have my hopes up very high for the future of the Batman films. I went from Mario Tennis to Batman in a blink of an eye. And he caught that. It was great to see everybody. Tiago Santos, Adrian Leon, David West, who says the tennis game, Mario Tennis on the Wii U, is not like the Switch game. No, it's way better. The Wii U was felt like an afterthought. It felt like, oh my God, we got to fill up this catalog. Get it out there. Go, go. It's ready. It's like 2/3 of a game or even a half a game. It's okay. People will buy it. It's got Mario on it. I was really bummed by the Wii U game. But the Switch game, great. It would be awesome if they put Batman in it, though. I agree with everyone after Defenders. I felt fatigued. Vaz Vegas says, good to see you, Vaz. Yeah, I think Netflix and Marvel are working extra hard now to bring us all back. Can't wait for more Daredevil. Can't wait for more Punisher. But I have more Luke Cage to watch this weekend, so I'm super psyched for that. Who's in here? Taz is in here. Good to see you. Wesley West. I think Wesley West was talking about watching us at ABC Channel 7 in New York City. That was a huge thing for us when we were syndicated out there. And we couldn't believe it because that's one of the biggest stations in North America. And here we were running on that channel, and we had lots of viewers out there. So if you caught us out there, thanks for sticking with us on YouTube. Interesting stories about why we didn't stick with syndication, but there were so many changes happening with our programming. But I think we've done okay. You know, I like this transition to what we do now. I love making EP Live and being able to communicate with you guys like Lucas42. And we throw to lots of cool segments, and we get to go and do all kinds of great things and visit studios. And, you know, it's a lot of the same, and it's a lot of new stuff. And you guys are all right along for the ride with us, which is really freaking rad. Samian111, Terrence Foreman, good to see you. Doy Owen, I think I've said hi to you already. But let's take a trip back in time, shall we, to a very, very cool, speaking of sports games, here's a great one in our buried treasure. One thing I really love about the Xbox One backwards compatibility is that it makes it really easy to dig up some very good buried treasures, and I've got one for you right now. It's developed by EA Canada. It's Fight Night Champion, which came out in 2011, and I know everybody's about the MMAs now, and everybody wants to get UFC fighting going on, but boxing is a truly cinematic experience. Thank you very much, Sylvester Stallone and the Rocky franchise, but it really ports well to games to kind of escalate the drama and the storytelling aspects behind these characters that are crafted for us. And the great thing about Fight Night Champion is that it does have this really compelling story about this fighter named Andre, and you just believe the story, and you just believe in him, and you believe in his story, and you get sort of, thrust into this, rags to riches tale, and you've got to fight all kinds of cool, expertly crafted opponents. And of course, there's also, the robust, they've licensed all the pros mode in there as well, so you can kind of do all kinds of dream matchups that you could ever want. It's 2011, so it was 7 years ago. The graphics are going to be a little bit dated now, but it is backwards compatible on the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. It's still gorgeous work. EA Canada really killed themselves to craft something special with their Fight Night games. They were able to really get in there and model these athletes extremely well. And so even though it's dated tech and it's been many years since these games came out, and I would say all of the Fight Night games that EAC did were pretty damn solid, but Champion, I think, was another level because of this incredible story mode. And now story mode obviously is a major part in all of the other sports games, the NBA 2K series, Madden and FIFA. I love all of this stuff, but if you want to point at one of the trailblazers at telling a story through your sports experience, you gotta look at Fight Night Champion. I'm just glad that it's still very much present and available to Xbox players out there. This is one of the best boxing video games you can pick up, and it absolutely qualifies as a buried treasure. Thanks for the heads up on the Death of Superman Blu-ray that's coming out soon. If it's not out already, I definitely have to watch that, Tyler Fisher. All right, you guys, we have something very special. It's been a little while since we've talked about VR games and content on EP Live, but I checked some out just before E3, and there's a new one coming from Ready at Dawn that I think you guys should pay attention to. These guys are great at making awesome VR experiences, and here's their latest. I'm with Vera Surya from Ready at Dawn, and you guys kicked some serious ass last year with your VR experiences. You had two very prominent ones, Lone Echo and Echo Arena, and you're back again this year with a brand new game. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's called Echo Combat, and it's our first foray into using a zero-gravity movement model in a first-person shooter mode. It's been really exciting because actually this was born out of the same game jam that built Echo Arena. This was just in a back burner, and we wanted to make it so as soon as the other two games came out, the team jumped on this, and this was the one actually that we wanted to do next.
Well, what I found fascinating is because you guys dealt with anti-gravity as your locomotion model and the freedom that provides, it's almost like when you're playing the flying games in VR, the driving games in VR, they have a lot less proclivity to make you motion sick.
Yes.
Was that something that you guys discovered through your R&D?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we saw already that was the right way to go about it, but the biggest problem for us was truly understanding that your legs cannot work. We know that. We already know it, unless you get you're in Ready Player One, with the perfect machine basically, and treadmill that allows you to move.
Yeah.
Your legs needed to, in some ways, disappear. And we used our hands as our new legs and our new feet, and that allowed us to understand that a big part of motion has to do with the way you relate to the world around you. Not what you see, but what you touch. And when you walk, and your inner ear basically, kind of like adapts to it, it's in some ways the same thing as what we're doing with cheating the inner ear and the brain to think that you're actually attaching to the world, a tactile attachment to the world that allows you to move, which your brain goes, that feels completely natural.
Where are we fighting in the game? Are they on is it in the universe of Lone Echo, like on the ships and the different, outer space, interstellar type environments that we've been in?
No, actually, well, it's in that environment. So imagine that Lone Echo, which is the kind of the grounding factor in that game, because that's where the IP was built around. Is based another century from now, right?
Okay.
So what we built Echo Arena first, and now Echo Combat as are almost. Imagine that games were built at the time for people to play.
Okay.
And you were able to put maybe a VR headset and control a robot basically going around. That's kind of the environment. So they are their own environments, their own arenas, like a holodeck almost.
Yep.
And that's what both of these are supposed to be. They're supposed to be it's supposed to be a sport that will be played in 100 years from now.
Yeah.
And this one is more like a recreational shooter that will be played on a holodeck in another century.
Like paintball in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Paintball.
With Echo Combat, are you guys kind of making this a little bit more accessible, like your take on a shooter, but it's not necessarily real bullets that are ripping you apart?
Exactly. I think that's the thing about the Echo universe for us was, although Lone Echo is a little bit serious, Echo Arena didn't take itself too seriously, which built actually something really great, a great community behind it. And for us, addressing the Echo universe in a shooter was exactly the same thing as you just described it. We kind of compare it to laser tag almost in some ways.
Yeah.
It is everything a shooter should be in a tactile sense and a tactical sense as well. But at the same time, not having that pressure and that kind of like feel of this heavyweight shooter, which built kind of a cool like a mechanic and a cool social interaction. Right now we play it all the time, and we feel that it stays true to the Echo universe while giving you the advantages of a first-person shooter.
And also kind of opens it up to a whole group of people. And I think the Echo universe that you guys are creating is something that Oculus is really needed, right? You guys can make hardcore games, and you've done that many times in the past, but the platform needs accessibility. It needs people to come to it.
Absolutely. I think you're right. Like getting people first and foremost to understand what VR is and that it's different than anything you've experienced.
Yeah.
You need to build apps that allow people to go it can be an app and experience a game, but it needs to kind of break something in your head, like a boundary in your head. And Echo Combat, as a step in the Echo universe, is probably the most accessible, as you said it, the most accessible game we've made up to now, because there is an easy barrier of entry. But then everybody finds their own way of playing.
Are you guys doing an Echo Battle Arena mode or a Battle Royale mode?
Is that the question that's going around now?
I don't know.
Oh man! Actually, it's funny that you say that because we didn't even ask that question internally. So you are the first person to ask that question, and it's probably a question we'll ask internally. I don't think so. I think that right now the game is not built for that, and the VR community is not built for it yet.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I mean, it's another level of immersiveness into Battle Royale. It'll be pretty intense, though.
Yeah. Well, I've heard people that have made the jump into VR development, they become evangelists for the medium, and they become fully focused on it, and they kind of sometimes leave the traditional game making behind. Is that Something that you would say about Ready at Dawn? Are you guys ready to leave the sort of two-dimensional screen world behind and just focus on VR?
Well, I would tell you that I don't know if we're ready now or if we will ever be ready for it.
Yeah.
One thing that I understood, at least the whole team as well understood from VR, was that it wasn't just about building games and shifting the company a new way. It was about learning.
Right.
What we learn in VR, we're going to basically bring back to traditional gaming. What we learn in traditional gaming, we're going to put into VR. Lone Echo, Echo Arena, Echo Combat, they could not exist without our past.
Right.
The work we've done on traditional, hardware, it was a necessity in order to build these games, and I don't see us being able to extricate that. As a matter of fact, I think that VR would suffer for us if we didn't still make traditional console games. We have one actually in development right now. We have one in incubation as well.
Right on.
So it's going to be a balance for the company.
You've got a lot of fans out there for Lone Echo. Is there a sequel coming? Are you guys going to be talking about that again soon?
Well, Jason kind of let the cat out of the bag. I think, what was it, OC4, right?
Yeah.
I think he went on stage and he said, like, hey, there's more coming out basically with the story of Liv and Jack. It's something that we've had in our minds when we created the IP, so there's definitely a little bit of that actually going on, and we've been thinking about
it. Always love talking to Ready at Dawn. Incredible folks out there, and they did make great PSP games, and they've really sort of jumped into the VR space, no pun intended, at full throttle. And they've brought out some great games already. I'm looking forward to playing some Echo Combat. I had a note here, actually. It's good to see everybody. Farimer asking, do I have a link to get shirts in Canada? Actually, one of the things that I didn't put in, it's weird because we have a lot of viewers from the States that have watched us over the years, and we have a lot of viewers from Canada. I'm trying not to... I haven't found one clear store that is best for everything, They don't have all the stuff. So what we have right now are two stores. We have the regular EPN t-shirt at teespring.com/EPNTV. And then we just opened up the Design by Human store, and one of the things that we were able to do there is open it up, and there's more shirt varieties. There's also a hoodie variety. There's more colors, and there's an iPhone case. Now, the Design by Human store, the shipping is a little bit cheaper to get into Canada, and there is another store that I'm going to be reaching out to that I think we may end up going with in Canada, but I haven't done that yet. So stay tuned. There might be another Canada-only store or Canadian prices store or something like that as well. And then what I think we're going to do is put all of the retail partners that we have or the merch partners that we have into one page on our website. This is all new for us. We've never done the merch thing, but it helps us out a ton if you guys buy shirts or hoodies or whatever. It's I know that it helps us out anyway. Helps us out, you guys sharing our content, telling people about it, reminding people that we're not on television, but we still make lots of good stuff. It helps us out if you sponsor, if you super chat, if you buy the merch. And I know a lot of people like to spend some money and get something back. That's kind of what I kind of realized, that it was time for us to make this stuff. We'd never really thought about that before because we were just busy making the shows and shipping the shows out. We used to get licensing deals that would give us the money to be able to make all of this stuff. But now, we kind of need support in lots of different ways. The media age is very different these days. So we may get some sponsors here and there. We may get some sponsors to our channel on YouTube. And I just found out from VidCon news yesterday that there's going to be like a merch implementation built right into YouTube soon, and there's going to be you can sign up members to your channel pretty soon. So all of these moves are clearly meant to kind of keep being able to have creators like us continue to be able to stay in business, continue to make content like that, and we appreciate it. We appreciate that you're watching. We appreciate that you're sharing. We appreciate that you're commenting. And if you're buying the merch or if you're sponsoring us or whatever, it's incredible. I selfishly and it's kind of like a bit of an awe for me because I've seen people wear the EP shirts live, and it's just so surreal to turn around and there's somebody wearing a brand that you thought of, and it's really cool. And I love wearing them too, and I think they turned out pretty sharp. And the different colors that the Design by Human store is offering seem pretty rad too. I've ordered a few hoodies and shirts that I'll start to wear when we make them, or when they come in. I'll start to wear them on EP Lives in the future. But lots of good things going on today. Not just Luke Cage, not just Mario Tennis, but the dinosaurs are back. Here's my review of the brand new Jurassic World. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom starts with a volcano blowing up on the island and destroying lots and lots of dinosaurs. It actually takes about 20 or 30 minutes before we get to that part, but when it does, it is one of the most electric sequences I've seen on screen, period. It is so dynamic with the volcano blowing up and debris falling everywhere and lava coming to get everybody and dinosaurs running for their lives and Chris Pratt running for his life and Bryce Dallas Howard getting trapped inside one of those rolly bubble sort of car things and then splashing into the water. And like that's kind of the opening of the flick. I mean, it takes a little while before we get to there, but it's the beginning stages of this movie. And you think, oh my God, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is going to be the most incredible Jurassic Park movie ever. It's going to be incredible. And then it isn't. It's not bad. It's better than the first Jurassic World movie, which I thought was just trying to sort of copy the tone and the look and the feel and just kind of rehash too much of the Jurassic Park stuff that is epic and perfect from the first film and then derivative in every subsequent sequel. And I feel like we've seen a lot of these things. We kind of know the routines, but the fact that J.A. Boyena and also who directed A Monster Calls, which was terrific, but also Colin Trevorrow and all of the people involved with this sequel to the first Jurassic World, which made a ton of money, which I never could understand except that we all love dinosaurs. But all the people, I think, tried very hard to make something that felt distinct, and I applaud them for that. And there are some great sort of removes from the tropes. The beginning of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom feels like we're just getting a beat-for-beat thing where we're going to the island and there's military guys and, they're going for a more complicated crazy dinosaur, and there's a dinosaur that swallows a whole submarine, and it's just like, okay, we've seen all of this stuff. And then the volcano goes, and it's like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. Then what we start to see happening is a lot of the dinosaurs are brought back to another place, and I'm not going to try to spoil too much of this. And it turns into kind of like a familiar monster movie, less a Jurassic Park movie that feels like it's just copying stuff, and more a monster movie that feels like it's kind of copying stuff, with a monster running around inside of an interior space, chasing a little girl and freaking her out. And it's pretty effective, but I definitely have sequelitis when it comes to the Jurassic Park stuff. I feel like nothing has come close to Steven Spielberg's original. This has some sequences that edge close to it. The aforementioned volcano sequence, which is incredible, but it just can't lift from there, which is such a disappointment. It really woke me up. I was falling asleep until we got to the island, and then it blew up. And I don't know how much of that is the unintentional marketing that we have from the island, the volcano blowing up in Hawaii, but volcanoes are very much in sort of popular consciousness right now, like we're very aware of them, and it's amazing to see it so well represented, so elegantly represented, beautifully represented by the visual effects, and scarily represented by the visual effects in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It's just that the movie just can't, it peaks too early, Then we get into, some nefarious mustache twirling bad guy tropes. Of course, we see some throwbacks to some actors that have been attached to Jurassic Park in the past, and they're a little nefarious, except for Jeff Goldblum, who we love, all of us, right? I think we are all in agreement here. Jeff Goldblum is the best. He is not used enough in this movie. He's got a couple of, ominous sort of courtroom sequences where he's telling people that this is a bad thing, all of the genetic experimentation and using genetics as kind of weaponry and stuff. Like it's awful, and we shouldn't have opened this Pandora's box, which we all can kind of know because they keep making Jurassic Park movies. And then, of course, the movie ends with the idea that there may be more, and if this does really well, there will be more. Chris Pratt is, he's very fun to watch. He's very charming. He knows how to not say anything and squint and be cool. He certainly evokes a younger Harrison Ford. I like him. I like him more in this movie than I did in the first movie because it felt like they were like trying to superstar him up a little bit. Bryce Dallas Howard has her eyes open and her mouth open and is just kind of shocked by so many things in this. Like, I kind of tired of seeing that same expression over and over again, but she's a likable person. The little girl that they have in this movie, liked her too. James Cromwell always makes a movie better. I like seeing that actor. He's terrific. It was fun, but after this epic sort of crescendo that happens 30 minutes into the movie, it's just like, oh, okay, we're just going to follow along with these sort of routines. Okay, we've seen stuff like this before. It's okay. It's fun summer entertainment that's kind of cool to see in the big screen. Did I tell you about the volcano? The volcano scene is just so good. But it's not going to blow you away. Except the volcano. That was pretty fun. I'm going to give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a 7 out of 10. All right, my friends, so Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, pretty fun. I just dropped my controller. But there is a brand new Jurassic World video game that we're going to play in Let's Play and Chat today. It's called Jurassic World... Actually, I forget what it's called. Evolution. Yes, that's what it is. And it's developed by Frontier. Excuse me while I just walk downstairs and pick up my controller. Okay, I'm back. We're going to talk about... this new, it's kind of like a theme park type thing because that's what Frontier kind of excels at. They did the Zook Tycoon games and stuff. But we're going to build a Jurassic Park of our own. And we're going to evolve some dinosaurs and let them go through in the park. Okay, Blake is going to join us. So go ahead and ask us any questions because this is called Let's Play and Chat. And let's see what time we got here. I'd say we're going to play for about a half an hour. How does that sound, guys? And this is a game that does take a little bit of time, too, because it's, it's kind of strategy and park building and stuff. But it's also pretty slick. Now, I've already started with this park. So I'm going to move the cursor off the screen. Hello, Blake. So go ahead and ask us anything that you want, and we'll try to play along with the chat, and I'll try to pay attention to what I'm doing here. I've got some dead dinosaurs already.
How long have you been playing?
I played for about an hour and a half or 2 hours yesterday.
You already killed all your dinosaurs?
You got to keep them fed. I put some plant feeder things here. They're herbivores. I don't know why they died. I think they got some kind of a virus or something. But I'll quickly run you through the buildings and stuff that I've created, but I feel like we should just start over from the beginning here, okay? So I got a fossil center.
Did you build all of this?
I put a lot of stuff in, yeah.
Okay.
And this is my my ranger or this is my expedition center. So you click on this and you go to the expedition map, and then you can send them to different areas, and they're hunting for fossils. One of the dinosaurs that you get up that you can find is the Edmontaurus. And it tells you right in there. There's the Edmontaurus. It's commonly found specimens. So you can go.
I've seen one of those, the bones of one of those in a museum.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, they're a real thing, and of course they're going into, I guess, Drumheller or somewhere in Edmonton or something like that. So I'm sending my team out there. You can see the chopper leaves, and then I've got all of these helpers and stuff. You hear from the Chris Pratt character, and you hear from the Bryce Dallas Howard character. They also hired.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. He does a lot of voiceover stuff in here. And he's kind of wasted in the movie, as I just talked about in my review, so it's kind of fun that he's in here. So you can actually choose the ranger teams, and you can drive a vehicle. So you go out to the into the park there.
Do any of those volcanoes erupt?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure that there is some because they're pulling right from the new movie. So I'm
what
sure
happens
that
when
they
you try
have
to run people over?
I think nothing. They just get out of the way. Yeah, it's kind of Jurassic friendly a little bit until the dinosaurs escape, and then I think there's probably some horror stuff out. Some horror pieces that start happening there. Okay, let me in. Okay.
We have a super chat from Paul Casillo.
Paul Casillo, you rock, man, or Casilio.
Casillo, I don't know.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what are we doing here? So,
Fat Chimp wants to know if we're planning any mugs or other merchandise.
Yes. The one thing that I will say is when I'm working on the shirt stuff, it's taking a lot longer than I wanted to. It's not as easy as just going boop. Okay, it's now the people can buy the shirts. It's like, okay, the logo has to go here and then this. And I tried to make on the Teespring app. If people were on that store for a little bit, I tried to make a hoodie that looked cool there, but I put it over the zipper part, and then half of the logo disappeared, but I didn't see it until it was live, because it looked like it was fine all the way until it was live, and then I totally flipped out. It's like, no! So I had to figure out how to erase that and get that off of the thing, and it's all a little bit more cumbersome than I would like it to. No, nobody bought it.
Okay.
I was trying to do it as fast as I can. So, but yes, mugs are coming. It's just that it takes a little bit of time to design it and figure out if this looks good and what colors and all that stuff. But yeah, we're getting into it. We're into the merch world now, and it's fun. But I don't want it to be my primary business. My primary business is to play Jurassic World Evolution for hours on end and to not kill all my dinosaurs. And then I can tell you guys if I like it or not.
Tiago Santos has asked, are we going to continue uploading EP Classic episodes?
Yeah, I didn't do it last week because I was pooped. We finished our week of E3, and then it was Father's Day, and it was like, oh my God, I don't want to figure out all this stuff.
Your car is driving back.
I know, I have to answer it. Yes, episode 5, or season 5, episode 1 goes up tomorrow. And there'll be a new episode from season 5 going up every week.
Brock Hickman, can you drive the classic Jeep from the first movie?
I don't know. Haven't got that far.
That'd be cool if they had skins or something.
I'm sure there's
to make it Jurassic Park instead of Jurassic World.
I have, that would be good. I have they sent me the deluxe code, and I don't even know what's all in it. So this is a couple of hours in, and I've started to uncover some fossils and stuff like that. I guess we could just continue. What do you want? Want to start over?
Yeah, I don't want to see you start from scratch.
Okay.
I want to see a Jurassic Park, not a Jurassic Field.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I want to see those people get run over and then eaten by a dinosaur.
I wonder if I can shoot these guys. Can I shoot them?
Negative contact.
I missed them. Okay, so this is like a. I didn't know you.
I like how they don't notice that there's a dude pointing a high-powered rifle right at them.
Trying to get one of the Dr. Sauruses, but nope, can't do it. Okay, so take photo. So I have. Oh yes, I'm supposed to take some photos of the park anyway. So
Vic, did you ever review the Lego Jurassic World game?
I think we did. It was good.
When did that come out? That was when Jurassic World came. Yeah, we reviewed that. I think you reviewed it with Marissa. I think Marissa and Scott reviewed it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. Oh yeah, they.
I remember.
It.
I know
Marissa
didn't like
was
one of the people who reviewed it. Yeah.
Or Scott didn't like it. Surprise. But when I played
remember Marissa talking about it.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. I don't know how to get back to my car.
David West, can you drive into a dinosaur and kill them?
Let's go find out. We are here to serve. Let's go see. So driving is like, this is such an insignificant part of this game.
Vic, you're not supposed to crash into the game.
I know,
you're supposed to wait for it to
I know. Profit per minute. So let's go take a picture of this Stegosaurus.
No,
and
crash into it first.
Or Triceratops.
Oh no, take a picture of it.
And then there we go.
Science requires not only experimentation,
there we go.
But observation.
Collect my reward. So
I like what I see. Keep it up.
So what can I do? Can I?
You need to medicate that animal if you are to save it.
I think you should administer the medication with the front of your car really fast.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't get out of the Jeep, I don't think. Oh wait, maybe I can add a task. Okay, zoom in. So Ranger Team 1, add task, heal dinosaur.
It's always tricky with these kind of games on a console, because you want a mouse and keyboard for this, for the menus and stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to heal the dinosaur now. Go for it. Oh, I controlled the disease outbreak.
Is that why all your dinosaurs were dead?
Yeah, there were no more sources of, and I guess the bones
You'd think they would, because they're genetically engineered dinosaurs. You'd think they would make them resilient.
They're not perfectly. Oh, this is pretty far. Am I driving that? No.
Maybe it's AI
It's
now
going
'cause
back.
you're
Yeah.
too far away.
Yeah. It's going back to the base. Okay. So what you do is you get your fossils. I can send out this crew. I don't have enough. I want to get 2 expedition crews so I can get a couple of
You should
things
get a
going.
T-Rex.
Let's see what we got here. So you go and you hunt for. Oh, I'm supposed to get more of these carnivores. So they're going out to go get them. So you see the chopper take off. And then I've got fossils. So you go back to your fossil center and we view the fossils. And then from the fossils and the amber, you and some of it you just sell. I have some silver here, so I can sell that to put some more money into the park.
Do you start out with dinosaurs, or do you have to earn them
No,
all?
you have to create one through the research.
Do they give you the option of like start? Because I remember the SimCity games, they have like pre-built cities that you can just sort of jump
Yeah,
into.
I think so. I just jumped into the first thing just to get a feel for it, but I believe that there's lots of parameters and lots
But
of
they don't
ways
have
that-
dinosaurs when you start?
I don't think so. So you go into the hatching bay, and we're going to.
Do that one.
Well, my genome process, which means that the research that I got isn't that far
Seems
along.
really complicated.
So yes, so I could get like a corrupted dinosaur or a dinosaur that gets
That's
sick
even
or
better.
something. You can also customize them with different color patterns and things like that based on going into their genetic code. There it is, modified genome. So we can go into that. And so you go along in here and you change their code a little bit. So cosmetic, I don't have any goodies, but with this one, I've got a robust digestion. So let's add that.
It's like you get to micromanage.
Yeah, it's pretty
lot of
cool.
little
So you're
things.
customizing your thing. So let's. Can I do it now? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. He's not. His genome progress isn't far along enough that I can do it.
Samian 111.
Oh wait,
What
it
is
says I can. So how do I do it? So
modify? I see an X button. Modify genome.
incubate a dinosaur.
You hit X, nothing happens.
Oh, it's too expensive. I don't have the $572,000 yet. These I can.
Oh, okay. I
See?
see. Yeah.
I incubate. Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got another. One of my Triceratops died, so I'm going to incubate another one here. And I will incubate an Edmontosaurus for everybody that's watching out of Alberta.
So Vic, what is your favorite park simulator? Samian 111 asks.
I like this one, but I also like the roller coaster ones and stuff. I mean, it's a bit soon to like call it on this one, but I like the idea that I'm building a dinosaur park. That's pretty exciting, I think. I also think Frontier did a great job with Zoo Tycoon. I thought that was pretty rad. That was one of the highlights of the Connect games. Remember, because you could interact with everything that way. They also did a Disney one for Disneyland, which is pretty rad. I played that with my kid, and it's pretty well made. But you know, I think I liked Sim Theme Park when I played that on the PC ages ago.
How big is this? Can you make it like the whole island?
No.
I'm in charge of the entertainment division here. What good is the world's greatest show if no one sees it?
Okay.
Don't answer.
So this guy's in charge of the entertainment division. No, I can't make it the whole park. There's boundaries, so that's about as far as I can go into the park right now.
Okay.
There might be bigger
This is hills and
geography.
stuff.
Numbers bring
Yeah.
revenue, excitement, and opportunities.
So Isaac Clement wants me to create more entertainment, but I'm running out of money, I believe.
Well, that's always the problem with these games is you get
Yeah.
10 people telling you, we need this, we need that, and you got to micromanage everything.
Yes. So it's very much like a Sim City or something like that. My ranger station, my expedition center. I do have a hotel.
Super Boo 85, have you guys ever thought about going to Tokyo Game Show? We've been to Tokyo Game Show back when we had a show. When we were on TV, we went a couple times.
Yeah.
We went. I think the last time we went was in 2012.
Yeah, we may go back again. It's definitely a cool show, but it's not really a big news show. Like most of the stuff is out by then. Same with Gamescom.
Yeah. And the interviews we get are not as good because translated interviews are always trickier, just because you can't communicate with the person as easily because you don't speak each other's language. Even though you have a translator sitting right there, you don't get that rapport that develops.
I'm cool with that. I think we get we also do get some interesting pieces and stuff because of the translation and because of the cultural differences, and some exclusive stuff happens there. Honestly, from us going to Tokyo Game Show, I sat down with Ryan Payton and did some interviews about the Metal Gear game coming up, and it was that interaction and that kind of connection that got us to working together on the Metal Gear Solid 4 making of. So I love going out there, but it's never been like as close to the great type of content that we're going to get out of E3 or even PAX more recently. Like PAX is an incredible show for finding lots of indie games and lots of people in a kind of a chill kind of state. And GDC is great for that. GDC, PAX, and E3 have been fantastic for content. Comic-Con as well, but Comic-Con has gotten so big.
And so expensive.
Expensive, but also kind of full of itself, and there's so much other media that goes there, and it just feels like, when I look at the Comic-Con footage, I love the stuff that we've gotten, but I also feel like the people are just in sort of soundbite churn mode, and you just see a lot of the same things over and over and over again. And it wasn't always like that when we were first going to Comic-Con, and we were one of the first TV shows, I think, that was covering Comic-Con. I played a big part in convincing G4 back in the day that they should spend some money and go to cover that and have a presence at Comic-Con when they were active. But Comic-Con has just gotten so big, and so big for its britches too. The way that they handled just a small allotment of passes and their media accreditation, and it's not easy because media has exploded and there's just a million different channels and a lot of different ways for people to have a media voice out there. So I don't envy them having to go through all of that and decide who gets the pass and who doesn't. But I can tell you, being on the lines and being in these positions of waiting for people, and there's so many different outlets, and people just don't. The celebrities that we've talked to and the creators that we've talked to don't always look like they're having the best time there either.
There's a lot of handlers trotting people out.
Yeah, not to say that it's. I mean, we always get gold when we go, but it's definitely not the same as it was. One of the things that Blake and I did the last few times that we went is we would try to get some stuff up in the interview green room type stuff, but we would also go to the floor and just find interesting people.
Stick a camera in front of someone's face and be like, hey, what's going on?
And a lot of those people, ironically, are comic book creators that nobody talks to anymore.
And they get photobombed by Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah, that was rad.
Johnny McFly, question, can you find hidden shaving cans with secret dinosaur DNA hidden in them?
I'm sure they have lots of little... I've got my dinosaurs that I can release.
That'd be cool if you could hire or bribe employees of rival dinosaur theme parks to steal information.
I'm sure this goes on. Like we're getting a little bit of narrative beats and stuff like that. But this is not a quick game. This is not a game in our 30 minutes here that we're going to be able to see a whole bunch of.
See, I just want to have a T-Rex and just set it loose and watch it kill people.
Triceratops.
Oh, Chris Pratt's in the game.
That's only going to last for about a week.
Yeah, Pratt's face.
His character.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I can click the free camera so I can move this around wherever I want to.
Like, in the context of the story, is this supposed to be the Jurassic World from the movie, or is it like a sister park?
It's supposed to be like a new Jurassic World that you're building.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I can release the other one too. Yeah. Okay.
What about going to PlayStation Experience? We've never been to that, I don't think. Because it's a pretty new thing. It only started a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Right? And again, that's usually at the end of the year, and maybe one or two new things are revealed.
Yeah.
It becomes kind of a cost equation,
Did they even do interviews there? I don't even know if they would.
I think they would.
Would they?
Yeah, I think they would.
Oh, and people are asking about Fan Expo.
Definitely going to Fan Expo this year for a couple of reasons, not just because
do we have an announcement to make?
this show.
About this?
well,
I guess
we're-
you haven't really told anyone yet.
I said that stay tuned for some Fan Expo news, but we will be there, and we will be getting some content, but also meeting with folks. So if you live in the Toronto area, haven't worked out exactly all the details yet, but we will be there. But it's also Marissa's wedding is taking place during that time as well.
Now
so-
everyone's gonna try to go to her wedding.
No, I'm sorry. But
But when is Fan Expo, Vic?
I think it's like August 30th. It's like August 30th to September 1st or
If
something.
only
like
there
that.
was some easy way to
Yeah,
find out readily.
I don't know. Is there
available
some kind of
information.
like
Is there something I can do on my
portable
phone?
device that is connected to some kind of sort of connected, series of stations?
Yes,
that
there
are-
is.
that
And it told me that
create this thing that
It's Thursday, August 30th.
Oh, okay.
Sunday, September 2nd.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
I pulled
What
that
do we
out
call
of the
that
ether.
fancy thing where all these nodes are connected and you can get information on it? So view my fossils. I need some more fossils. So I have to go send. So this is the routine. You send out your expedition crew, and they go and get fossils for you, and you get new missions, and the fossils are from all over the world. So this is in Portugal, and another one of these guys. Okay. So a lot of stuff is locked off. I don't know why. Can't get all the big bad
Well, it
dinosaurs.
says requires more. You do not have enough available dig teams.
Yeah. Well, I've only got one, so I need another dig team. But I don't know how to get another dig team yet. Let's see if it tells me in the expedition center. Teams available, 0 of 1. Can I upgrade? Let's see what this is. I don't have the money. Oh, I have to research it. Okay, so let's research. What kind of research? So you go back to your research center, which is right back here, I believe. There it is. Okay. And what can I do? I can. So I've done 1 of 3.
You could do one more mission, right?
Yeah, let's see if I can hire.
Are these characters from the film as well?
No. Entertainment contract, science contract. What do you think I should get? I should choose one, right?
Dude, the security one is probably going to be visually interesting. So do that.
Yeah? It's red.
That means it's intense.
Okay.
That means it's
We
cool.
don't always get offers like this. Consider it carefully.
Perform a successful expedition to the Hell Creek Formation.
That
Let's do
sounds
it.
charming. Let's do that.
Okay. Digging up the past. Okay. Island navigation. Okay, we are here. These are all unlocked, so you do actually have other spaces on the island here.
Well,
So
those
it
are
gets
other
pretty
islands,
big.
though. Isn't that the
Yeah.
island from the movie, though? The one in the top left?
I think so. Isla Nubar or whatever?
Yeah. The one, yeah.
Isla Mantaqueros.
But the one on the left, on the right there is, that's the one from the,
one's
yeah, that's
Isla
the one from
Nubar.
the movie, yeah.
Okay.
And the one from the, what are the other ones called?
Hold on.
Because the one from the Lost World should be there too, right?
Isla Muerta.
No, that's not it. What's the other one? Oh, yeah, that's the one from the Lost World.
Isla Sorna.
Yeah,
How do you remember that?
I just remember that.
Okay, that's good.
Because I remember it was near the other island.
Isla Peña. Okay, so travel's restricted to those. Okay, so my expedition map. Am I able to create more dig teams? I can have 3 altogether. How do I get those? Fossils, none yet. Research. Let's see what I can do. So fossil access. So I have to unlock these guys. What do I have to do? Unlock conditions. So I'm basically getting further into the game. So I have to finish missions and stuff like that.
I have a question, Vic.
Yeah.
Are there microtransactions in this game?
Have not seen any of that yet.
That's good.
Yeah,
Because it would
but-
be very easy for a developer to just say, you could unlock all this stuff by doing this,
Right.
or you could just pay $1 and you
Right,
can unlock
right,
a
right.
T-Rex
Oh,
right
that
now.
would suck.
It's good they don't have that.
Okay, so I can splicing this gene will increase the defense and resilience traits. That's pretty cool. What's this one? Immune response. Splicing this gene will increase the lifespan and resilience. Okay. Oh, I already did one of these. Oh, it's the Viper one.
Adrian Leon says, question, Vic, are you going to do Beyond Good and Evil as a buried treasure?
I don't.
Is that really a buried treasure?
I guess I could, but I feel like that's a pretty obvious one right now
Yeah.
because the sequel's coming.
Yeah.
I try to pick stuff that isn't like the first thing we would think about when we're thinking about classic
And
stuff.
you try to pick things that are buried treasures.
An
Yeah.
opportunity has presented itself.
I don't think it was that big of a hit though.
Was it?
No. I do not have enough available research teams to build that. Okay. What else can I do? Building upgrades.
Ryan Landis, comment, Vic, I liked your E3 videos where you would wear the headsets on the back of your head to save the hairdo.
Yeah.
It's now deemed the Vic maneuver. It made me laugh too because sometimes if you put your shoulders up like this
Yeah.
on like a table, you make your shoulders up really high and you
Yeah.
have the headset right there, so it made your head look really tiny.
Oh, that was my intention right there. That's what I wanted to do.
This is like
Yeah, the headsets would start to come down. I actually I prefer to stick the earbuds in, and sometimes I would do that. But some of the headsets that they give you are so complex. I don't even know what I'm turning on when I'm doing.
some of them don't like you to use your own because they want you to use the nice headsets
Yes.
with the good sound because
Yeah.
they want you to think the sound in the game is really really good.
Totally.
They don't want you using your own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody respects the work I do in getting these spikes going. Doesn't just happen. Okay, so there's a lot of this where you're waiting for stuff your research to be activated. Oh, I can unlock some fossils now. Okay, so this is.
And you can't pay to have the
Sell
research
it.
go faster.
I don't think so.
That's good.
Aquatic mammal fossils. No. Okay, sell it. So
Oh,
it
that's
tells
fine.
you.
No, you should keep that because then you can make a.
No, but it says there's no dinosaur DNA. It needs to tell you that there's DNA to extract, I believe. And then in here is my InGen database, and let's see, we've got 4 of 48 dinosaurs. So I haven't actually built
Do that
one of
one.
these. I haven't built him yet. Let's go to the base and see if I can afford it right now. So that's. They do have.
Are you
like,
constantly getting money from guests and visitors? to
Yep.
the park?
Yep, people are coming in. I do have some dinos out there. Let's see if I can afford them. I can. Should we incubate
Do
one
it.
of these?
Do
Wait,
the-
I've
do
got
the scary one.
I've got more fossils being examined right now, which will make my dinosaur better. Oh, where's the fossil center? Fossil center's right here. Okay, view my fossils. Once I get this, then I'll do it. So 25 seconds of digging into this amber and my Citoris. Citoris? Ceratosaurus? How do you say that? Ceratosaurus?
Ceratosaurus?
Ceratosaurus? Yeah, Ceratosaurus. That's good. Or Ceratosaurus? Would be Ceratosaurus.
I would say Ceratosaurus.
Ceratosaurus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now he's at 77%. Took us 25 seconds to say his name.
It's an effective use of our time.
Yeah. All the fossils have been dug up. Okay, so let's send my expedition crew while we send that dinosaur out. Let's go get these guys going out somewhere.
I think someone, Paul Casillo, is saying, what a fun park for the survivors, I mean the guests.
Yeah.
I think he's being sarcastic because I don't think there's a lot to do at your park right now, Vic.
Oh, yes.
Like, what is there to even do at your park? Like, you have, like, one dinosaur.
Well, we have more than one. We have 2.
Where?
And now we're going to...
So you get on a plane, you go to this island.
Yeah.
You travel for God knows how long. Get there, check into your hotel, and then you stare at a triceratops for a couple days.
Well, now we're going to introduce a carnivore, and we'll see what happens.
Do it.
So I have more than I have my Edmontosaurus.
Well, don't put him in the cage with the.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're gonna send him right out there. Let's see what happens. We're gonna experiment with these things. Okay, so
You're gonna kill your other 2 dinosaurs.
yeah, all for entertainment purposes.
Like us.
Well, if you're gonna do that, why not just drop it where all the people are?
Make sure to
I
press
don't
the
think I
correct
can.
type
I
of feeder
can't
in
lift them.
enclosure.
I've seen trailers and stuff where
I'm
you
a red
can.
meat
Really?
myself.
Yeah, I've seen the dinosaurs like eating people and getting out. And
I think they can bust out.
I'm pretty sure like you can just open your gate and just like let it get out.
Oh yeah?
I've seen it in trailers, in like the gameplay videos and stuff.
Okay. Open gate.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, put the
So-
dinosaur right there.
Well, this is going to be the creation lab, 58%. So it's going to be a much more exciting day in Jurassic World today. Let's see what fossils we have in. Anything come in yet? No. Okay. They're going all the way to China for some of those. Okay, that's power, and this is my ranger station. What can I get these guys to do?
Get them to stand there and wait for the dinosaur to walk by.
Oh, I select a target. Heal dinosaur. Do I have any heal dinosaurs? No. Oh, I get them to resupply.
Oh, you have 3 dinosaurs.
Heading to the feeder now.
Okay, and then they can.
Request acknowledged.
So they can. Okay, so now we've got a dinosaur that's ready to release. Let's go back into here. Boom. Release dinosaur. It's going to be hungry. It's going to go eat some dinosaurs and some people, and the gate is open. Here we go. Let's go see what happens.
Isn't this thing in the movie? As in the volcano sequence, isn't it the one that is chasing Chris Pratt?
I don't know.
And then the T-Rex comes and kills it. It's in the trailer.
I think they call that Omninoceros or something like that, like some heavy one or.
Happy guests is what we strive to maintain here on the island. We do that by making sure their
Okay,
needs
go
are
get
met.
some. Go
Happy
get some creatures.
Isaac is telling you that happy guests is what you
Yes,
strive
I
to
know.
maintain.
Man
So.
to less understanding. Am I right?
And you left your gate open, right?
Yeah. I left the gate open. Oh wait, yep, gate's open. So here comes the dinosaurs. It's gonna go get those guys. That's awesome. Okay, it's killed the Edmontosaurus.
Aww.
The rangers are just like not paying attention at all. So let's get these rangers out to go because I'm supposed to take pictures of those things. Oh, I'll get some of these guys on another expedition here. Let's see, where could they go? I feel like I've got every one of the available dinos so far.
What are the available ones? Blue dots?
Yeah.
I saw one in Spain.
Oh, I was in Portugal.
Did you get that one?
Let's go see.
It's just laying there dead. It didn't even eat it though. Oh, he's going out. He's going out.
Yeah, he's going out.
Go watch him. Make sure he gets out. Yeah.
He's out. Goodbye, people.
Follow him. See what he does.
All right.
This is the first thing everyone's gonna do when they play this game. They had
People
to know
are
that.
running.
They had to know this is the first thing.
This is awesome.
Everyone is gonna do this right away, or as soon as they can.
It's sick. It's not doing well.
Well, hopefully this guy's healthy.
This is great. Go get those guys. Oh man, that's awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, that's incredible. That's good.
Did that make him healthier?
I don't know. He's a danger to guests. Oh, maybe that's what it's saying. Yeah, danger to guests.
Okay.
So he's fine. He's very healthy.
So he's fine. So,
Where's this? I want to drive this thing. And I want to go right over to the dinosaur and see if I can lose some rangers. Let's see what happens. Out of the way!
where's the dinosaur?
There it is. That's so cool.
He's
What
gonna eat this
happens
person.
now? Oh, nothing. Okay, I can take a picture though.
That's good for the travel brochure. And you.
Who's hungry?
Oh, that's an achievement.
Photograph a carnivore eating a visitor. It's
Put that in the brochure. That'll get lots of
that,
new
that
guests.
was a great achievement right there.
Was he frozen now?
I don't
The
know.
dinosaur? Oh no! Did you glitch your dinosaur?
No, he's breathing. That's a good pick right there. Nice.
Let's drive right up to him. Can you get it? You can't get out of the car, right?
Oh, that's epic. Right by the gift shop.
He's just standing there. He's just having to think. You know, all these other people are still just going about their business.
Come and get me.
Why are all those people still there?
They're
like,
coming
"Oh,
in.
Let's go look at the dinosaur.
They're coming in. Oh, you can kind of run people over.
Can you kind of herd them towards the dinosaur?
I don't know. Let's see. This is pretty rad. It's got a lot of cool details in it. Dinosaur threat. Oh yeah, there it goes.
Someone.
There it goes. It's going to get those guys. Nice.
Oh, he's going over where all the people are.
Oh yes.
Yes.
That's cool.
You'd think, like, a park like this, if it existed in real life, all the dinosaurs would be bred and they would put, like, a computer chip or something in every dinosaur's head.
Yeah.
And then if it ever escapes,
Yeah,
you
they would just-
press a button and...
They explode them.
Yeah.
There we go. Collect reward. So this is a way to make money in your park, guys. You just let the dinosaurs out, and then you follow them along with your Jeep and take pictures as it eats guests. You get like $7,000 a picture. There we go.
Faramir is saying there's an invisible radius around the dinosaurs so that when people run into it, then they start fleeing.
Ah, okay.
So they have to walk. They have to get a little bit close to the dinosaur before they run away.
Right.
Oh, he stepped on all those people.
Is he going back in?
He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
All right, he's going back in.
He's like, okay, I'm done. Now, are there any penalties for having killed people?
Back.
Because you'd think now you would have like a lawsuit.
Yeah, nothing that I've heard. Okay, so it's going for a Triceratops. We see a battle right here. That's cool.
Yeah, you'd think the Triceratops would defend itself.
Well, let's see.
They have defensive horns, right?
Yeah. Nope, it's gonna go eat.
He's like, no, fuck off.
All right. So I'm supposed to get another. So I'll close this gate. I'm supposed to get another Ceratorosaurus or whatever they're called. Let's see. Do I have the money yet? Okay, now I've got to go to the expedition to Hell Creek Formation. Let's go see where that is.
Taz is saying that you're losing 4K per picture.
I'm losing 4K?
Yeah, no, I don't. It said we were making money.
I think we're making money, yeah. Where is the...
People are still asking if you can hit the dinosaurs with your car.
I couldn't. Okay, I'm going here. Oh, I don't have enough money. There we go. Now I do. Oh, and what... I think I'm getting a Tyrannosaurus. Oh, another Triceratops. Okay. Big deal. Low health. Who's got low health? Oh, the Triceratops.
Oh,
Cool.
Faramir is saying it's a Ceratosaurus.
Ceratosaurus. Oh, Ceratosaurus.
Tusaurus?
Ceratosaurus.
It's dead. It doesn't care what we think. Oh, are they fighting?
Yeah.
I want to see the Triceratops just
Oh.
run at it and just stab it. Just like impale it.
It's gone. 1% health. Comfort 100%.
Looks very comfortable.
Dead. This guy's just hanging out, eating grass. They're like cows with giant horns on their head.
Yeah, you'd think they would. A Triceratops would be more of an aggressive animal just because it has the horns. It's like a hippo or a rhino. Like it wouldn't just stand there and let you kill it.
Numbers never
Right.
lie, and yours are
Even though they eat
exceptional.
grass, they would still be very aggressive.
Resupply request acknowledged. Understood.
Oh, Samian 111.
Yeah.
Lego games aside, what is the best Jurassic Park game and why? I like, what was the one on the Super Nintendo that was like, it was like top down and then it was first person. You could walk
I don't
around.
think I played that game.
I remember, I forget what it was called, but I remember it was like you walked around the park in like top down, and then you would be first person
Was it like
walking.
you were controlling a park?
Yeah, no,
like
it
this
wasn't a
kind of
park
thing?
management
No.
game. No, it was like you walked around the park, like top down, like in Zelda. But then when you went into a building, it was first person on the
Okay.
Super Nintendo, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Look at that.
I'm gonna Google
Oh,
that.
that's epic. That was cool.
Here's what would be great. Let's make our guests happy.
And ensure
excited,
no mission
thrilled to
critical
take in our shows and
dinosaurs die.
crazy,
Okay.
right?
That was cool though. All right, so I did manage to kill some dinosaurs. Managed to take some pictures of them. But that's a little taste of this huge, epic park simulation game. I'll play it some more, and I will give you guys a review of this sucker next week. Question, Vic, did you see the retweets about the Burnout dev games getting 2 new games? Yes, we talked about it on the rundown yesterday. Super psyched. That's Alex Ward and X Criterion folks.
Okay, bye, everyone.
We've got lots of good stuff. Thanks, Blake. But that's going to wrap us up for the EP Live episode today. Thank you so much for joining us live, or if you're watching this through the archive, we appreciate your support big time. So let us know what you thought of the show in the comments below, and thank you for your questions and all of your feedback and stuff. Love you guys. Awesome. Remember, we've got lots of content for you to check out. You can please do watch it, and if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell to keep yourselves notified. If you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too. And remember, play forever.